I feel like you have a nicer haircut than I have.
Really? Oh, right.
You're a stylish dude.
Yeah, well, I don't like to... I'm 67, but my mind is still very young. And I try to look young. I'm a fun guy.
It's more how you feel than how old you are anyways.
I know. It is all in the mind.
It is all in everything.
All in the mind.
Everything is in the mind.
Absolutely.
All right, sorry. Cole Fogel here, and today I'm here with I want to say special guest, but everyone, of course, is their own unique flavor of special. Yeah. What's your name, sir?
Colin Jackson.
Colin Jackson. It's such a famous sounding name.
Yeah. Or Dahai.
Dahai. There you
Dahai.
go. Where are you from originally?
England.
What part of England?
South.
So you're 67.
Yeah.
I imagine then you've had kind of an interesting life leading up to Taiwan.
You know, I was married for 28 years.
Yeah, you have a few kids,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I've got two other children, Natalie and James, back in England.
Okay, and then you got the crazy guy I know, Robert, here in here in Taiwan.
I love Robert.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
no, his son is awesome.
Guy.
So before you came to Taiwan, you've been a driver. That was your What type of driving?
Semi trucks. I now work for a company called the John Lewis Partnership. I've been there 17 years now.
Wow. Okay.
Which I'm on the Waitrose side, the food side. So
I
deliver the food to the branches.
Oh, okay.
And the John Lewis side does all the furniture.
Is that hard on the body, like to be a driver for so many years? Like you seem like we were just walking to get here, and you seem like a healthy, fit, mobile guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty healthy.
Has it had a toll on your body?
Well, no. I can't do the things that I used to do. You know, jump up on the trailers, you know.
I know you've been here for a few months on this trip here.
3 months.
Do you ever think about retiring, or is that not...
Well, this is my plan. I've said this to Robert, go back home. Robert said to me, he said, no. He said, just ring up your company and say you're not coming back. I said, Robert, that is not me. And I said, no. I said, I'll go back and sort everything out properly. Yeah. I've got a property back in England that I'm going to rent out.
Nice.
So, I'm looking to come back probably February next year.
I'm sure some people are going to recognize you, but for those that don't recognize you, what originally brought you to Taiwan?
Robert.
Your son Robert?
My son Robert.
Okay.
So the first time I arrived in Taiwan was 9 years ago. I've followed Robert all over. Robert went to Australia.
Oh, he told me you guys...
He was there for 2 years.
He said he's so sad he doesn't have video of that trip.
That was really
That was
really
a Netflix special, I heard.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen Robert for about 2 years, and of course I was married at the time, but unbeknown to my wife and daughter and that, I booked a ticket.
Oh, cool.
And I said, I'm off.
And you went to Australia?
I just went to Australia to see Robert.
Okay, so the first time you hung out with your son abroad was in Australia.
Yeah.
And then Taiwan.
Yeah.
So do you remember, this is maybe you do, maybe you don't, your first time coming to Taiwan?
Yep.
Do you remember what that day was like? Like you stepped off the airplane, what was what was the experience like?
I flew with Eva Airways.
Oh, great airline.
Right?
Yeah.
I arrived in Taipei at 9:30 in the evening. Robert's girlfriend at the time, Pei Shen, her parents put us up in these beautiful apartments, all free of charge.
In Taipei?
Yeah, in Taipei.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we stayed there and we had a really good time. And that was my first time in Taiwan.
Was it your first time in somewhere very tropical? Like, because the heat here is quite intense when you first arrive.
Yeah. I love the heat, though. Robert took me out to there's wonderful night markets in Taipei. So we walked all around the night markets.
Do you remember what was the most interesting food you tried that day?
There's loads of food. There's the sausages. There's just lots of food. You know, I was walking down through it. And Pei Shen, the girlfriend of Robert's at that time, she would just give me more and more food, you know.
Did she give you stinky tofu?
Yeah, I've had all that.
What do you think about stinky tofu?
Oh, I love it.
It's an interesting...
It is interesting,
There's nothing like it,
No,
is there?
No, that's right. And the good thing about stinking tofu is it comes out a bit crispy.
Yeah, I like this kind, because there is a soup kind as well, which
that's right. Robert eats the tofu that looks like a yogurt. You know, that you cut
the soft kind.
Yeah, and I said to Rob, we was in a restaurant the other day, and I said to Rob, I said, do you like that? Oh, he said, I absolutely love that. Yeah. But that
it's not as good.
It's not for me. But if you get the stinky tofu done in the wok,
Oh, so good.
You know, it comes out beautiful and crispy.
Crispy. You can get the little cube kind, and maybe
yeah.
the kimchi that they add to it.
So yeah, it's really good.
My father, he's never come to visit me here. Now, he's a good 20 years older than you, okay?
Yeah.
I wish when he was in his 60s, that would have been a better time for him to come.
Yeah.
Now he's a little bit less mobile than yourself. What is it like kind of visiting your son abroad? Like, did you ever imagine as your kids were growing up, one day your kid would live in like Asia and you would be isn't it a weird experience?
No, not really. You know, like I said earlier, Robert left home at 17 and went travelling. 17. Wow. He was 17. Went to Australia with an Irish girl. She was going to be a nurse out there. They got into Australia and
this sounds like a
company.
Movie.
Oh yeah. And Robert went working on these fruit farms, and they loved him.
Okay, so he has, because I know you help him sell fruit.
Yeah.
He has a history of fruit before
now.
Yeah,
He's working on a fruit farm.
He's a fruit guy. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Go on.
I've been out here with my ex-wife. You know, she wanted to come out, and I said I was going to. I was booked to go to Rome because I've always wanted to go there. Around the Colosseum.
The history of
you know,
Rome.
And Pompeii.
Beautiful.
And she said, well, cancel that and come to Taiwan with me. I said, yeah. I said, I'll do that.
Cool.
So I cancelled that. We got on a plane, come here, because she does not like the heat.
Oh, well, this would be a terrible place.
Yeah. She's not a hot weather person.
Yeah.
You know, the sun comes out, oh my God.
She's a UK person.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we come over for 2 weeks and that was it. And apparently she's coming over again, according to Robert, in January next year.
Like my mother and father are divorced. They're both remarried. It took them like 20 years before they were able to communicate again. Like a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's nice when you can, because it's better for the kids if you guys can, you know.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to ask you, as a father to another father, do you have any fatherly advice, like either on things that you maybe did wrong and then learn now as a grandfather of how you could have done, like, do you have any advice on things that I could do better now?
I was just thinking about this. I've done a lot of wrong things, you know,
but you
in
learn
my
from
married
that.
life.
Yeah.
You know, not good things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely don't do that, you know, because after 28 years, it all goes away, like, you know, so I think, you know, don't get me wrong, my wife is a lovely lady. She was the love of my life. You know, when I was about 18, I knew...
You were 18?
Yeah, when I was 26 when I got married.
No, you knew each other from 18
Yeah,
now.
but younger than that.
That's like high school sweetheart.
I know,
Like, wow.
She was the love of my life.
I believe you, yeah.
And she really was. And I'll never forget, I was walking down the road and I said to her, I said, Maria, I said, if I asked you whether you would marry me, would you marry me? She said, well, ask me. I said, will you marry me? She said, yeah, okay. And that was it. Yes, of course, then I had to go and see her father, who's a lovely Irish chap, you know. And I remember knocking at the door and...
having a fist fight, and then he said, okay.
No. And Maria's mum was there, and she was standing on the stairs, and I sat in their conservatory. I said, look, I'd like to ask you, I said, can I have your daughter's hand in marriage? She said, oh, God, of course you can.
You guys were tight.
Yeah,
nice.
I know, yeah. He was... Maria's father was like a second father to me.
Oh, I love it.
He was so kind, you know.
Yeah.
I left school at 15, never been out of work.
I mean, were you the kind of father you worked so much you weren't around, or did you make yourself?
I was always around for my children.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's the important thing, right? Like.
I think I was a good dad. You know, Robert says that to me.
He's told me, he always says you're a good dad. Yeah.
We had a good life.
Yeah.
You know. We had a lovely house. We had a caravan that we used to travel all over Europe in. And Robert said to me, he said, they were the best holidays that we ever had.
He's the youngest, right?
Yeah, Robert, yeah.
Do you think the youngest usually, not always, but has the best impression often of their parents? Because when you're a father for the first time, you don't know what the hell you're doing. And then when you have a second or a third kid, you get it right a little bit more, and maybe you're a better version of yourself with the younger one.
I think so, because it's the unexpected, isn't it? You know, when you have your first child. You know, it was hard work, you know.
Yeah, it is hard work.
We had no money, you know, because my wife was a nurse.
Yeah.
she had to give up work, so it was my salary.
So energetically, you were more tired with the first one.
Oh yeah, just kept working, like, you know. I'm pretty close to Robert. My son James, he caught on to that, and he had a little
he was
chat.
jealous?
Yeah, he didn't.
I like that he was jealous, so that means he cares.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He said, I think that's really nasty. I said, James, I love you all the same. You know, when me and their mother got divorced, they weren't happy with it.
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, they didn't talk to me for quite a long time.
Children of divorce sometimes have emotional challenge.
Yeah, I know.
Or trauma, whatever you want to call it.
So, yeah, there was that.
So maybe they haven't made peace with the divorce is the problem. It's hard for some.
Maybe not. It does upset me at times.
Well, you want your kids to be happy, right?
I know.
So James and Natalie come to Taiwan, have a whole family reunion, like the four of you. That would be cool.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It'd be beautiful. Something I think about with my dad all the time. Like we've had some rough patches, but at the end of the day, like you only have your family for so long, you know, and not to have regret.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I do regret is that I put all my married life into my wife's parents, and I sort of didn't see my mum
neglected
and dad.
your own parents.
Absolutely, yeah.
And now they're but they're still around.
Yeah, they're still around. Yeah, I'm 95 now, and I think to myself, you know, I've lost 30 years. You know,
so make sure you
go time
when
with
you go
my
home,
mum and dad.
When you go home after this trip, make sure you go visit them.
Well, I phoned my dad the other day, and I said, look, I was going to talk to you about this. I said, but I'm thinking about coming to live out here. He said, Colin, if I was you, I'd go out there. You know, my dad had this, broke this hip. He got better. He's now back in his car driving again at 95.
That's
which
beautiful.
I think is really good.
What's your dad's name?
Brian.
Brian and your mom?
Jackson Joyce.
Brian and Joyce, still happily married?
Yeah, Brian.
Or for better or worse?
Yeah.
That age.
You know, we all go through
but
problems,
that generation has a lower divorce rate.
Oh, yeah.
They'll just be married and hate each other sometimes.
Oh, yeah. You know, my dad got married when he was 26.
Wow.
He's now 95.
Beautiful.
That's a lot of years.
Well, make sure you go visit them.
Yeah.
And make sure you spend as much time with them up until you decide to move.
Well, when my dad broke his hip, I used to go and take them out.
That must have been hard.
Take them out for food.
It's hard seeing your
dad. Yeah. Well, I think it's hard to see your mum and dad getting older. Thinking back to when I was young, with my dad, he used to think a lot of me because he worked for a company and we used to go out on all these car rallies and that, and it was me that he took out with him.
Oh, you were like Robert and you and your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And that was really, really good. You know, I can still remember certain places that we went to. My dad used to take me, you know, on these treasure hunts.
Well, I'm glad you have that. Like, that's a beautiful memory. Yeah. Can you think of one or two of your favorite spots that you visited in Taiwan where you're just like, wow?
Kending.
Yeah, Kending is awesome.
Tainan,
yeah.
When I arrived here last year, we went up to Hualien.
Oh, Hualien. Isn't it beautiful?
An 800-kilometre ride on a scooter. Right up the coast, you know, to Hualien. Absolutely beautiful.
All right, so you've enjoyed all of Taiwan, it sounds like.
Taipei, I do not like.
Oh, interesting.
It's too busy. Taipei is like London back in England.
Oh. It does have a lot to offer as a tourist in Taipei.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it is too busy to live. I agree
but saying that's a bit like the tourists that go to London, isn't it? Visit London.
So if you were to come here and retire, will you live in Kaohsiung?
Oh, definitely. No, I love it round here. This suits me down to the ground.
All right, wait, we need to tie this up.
Yeah, we need
It's actually starting to rain. All right. I want to say, Colin, it's been amazing. Can you just show your tattoo there? You're more Taiwanese than me. You have a Taiwan tattoo. You've got some Chinese writing there.
That's my Year of the Rooster.
Nice.
Yep.
I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Brother, we will have many more conversations.
Oh, God, yeah, definitely.
Stay tuned for my next video, where I'll be taking Colin out for some traditional Taiwanese food that he's never tried before.